Welcome everyone to Mastermind Seminars Live. We would like to welcome those who are in our location here today, as well as all those who are participating via video streaming at our satellite locations all around the world. We'll be introducing our event today and then turning it over to the very capable hands of some amazing presenters who have graciously given of their time and their amazing talents to share their insights into things which will change our lives as well as our businesses. The main question we want you to ask yourself is, why am I here? Is that a valid question to ask? Yeah. Why am I here? Maybe it's making money. Maybe it's saving more time. Maybe it's addressing my biggest challenge. Maybe it's working on my life vision. Whatever it is, we are here to help you do it. And the way it's going to happen is that you're going to get excited and you'll have the great temptation to do absolutely nothing about it because you are going to feel fantastic when you leave. You really will. I guarantee it. The way it's going to turn into money for you, and the question you have to ask yourself is, how can I turn what I learned today into money for me and my business? Well, it's going to be mind-numbing discipline in two key areas, in only two. One is intellectual, showing up or being on the live stream absolutely every single month, once a month, that's it, once a month, and then the implementation or the application is once a week. We have mastermind groups that meet on the phone in 30-minute segments that will absolutely change your life, or meet live with a coffee connection weekly, and you have to have at least two buddies, two partners from today who participate with you today where you hold one another accountable. You have to do it. You have to do both to make it happen, to achieve what you set out today to achieve. To ensure each participant has rock-solid follow-through, we have a system for that. Go to www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/register, and we will assist you in having strong follow-through with what you learn. Does everyone have what we call the fourfold? The fourfold has 14 different panels which you will be able to visually see and take home with you. On panel 6, please write down your biggest challenge, and then as you work through today, write down any ideas you have for solutions. Do not leave here today without having very specific solutions you will commit to do over the next 30 days with at least two other buddies from today's event. So, the topic today, and we have 12 topics every single year. Panel 5 on the fourfold are the same topics each and every year. Your MC or host will share with you the specific topic for today. With each topic, each month, at this event, we have 7 segments. Segment 1 is speed networking, which will be done at each individual location. You'll share your name, your company, your organization, what you would like to accomplish today, your biggest challenge, and your elevator speech. Everyone will break up into groups of 4 individuals, and each person will have 3 minutes to share these 5 things with others in the group. Once everyone has shared, then you will form new groups and do the same thing again. You keep doing this until your MC or host shares it's time to do something else. Segment 2 will be wins and biggest challenges, which is panel 6 on the fourfold. And the MC or host for each location will take 10 minutes to have local groups share their wins from last month's event and or your biggest challenges. Segments 3, 4, and 5 are the 3 elements to the BOS, the Business Operating System, which is panel 7, 8, and 9 of the fourfold. The BOS, Business Operating System, is the engine that runs our business. We earn the money we earn, work the hours we work, we have the stress we do or do not have due to our BOS. And the first element to our BOS, our engine, is the DNA for people, or personality masteries. The second segment is DNA for business, and the third segment is DNA for life. Segment 3, panel 10 on the fourfold, the DNA for people, is personality masteries. We can learn how to identify someone's personality in 15 seconds, and once we know someone's personality, we know their strengths, their weaknesses, what they like, don't like, why they will or won't work with us. We even know if they are married, probably the type of person they're married to, the strengths and weaknesses within their marriage. Yeah, pretty much amazing stuff. Imagine having a system that is so powerful that it will help you increase the leads your business receives, help you convert more leads faster, and obtain more referrals. In segment 4, panel 11 on the fourfold, the DNA for business, this is what we call the 530 grid. There are 5 areas in one's businesses. Area 1, marketing. How do we generate more and better leads? Area 2, pre-sales. How do we convert more leads to clients? Area 3, the sale. How do we convert leads faster? Area 4, servicing. How do we service our clients in the most amazing way where they refer everyone they know to us? And Area 5, client for life, where our clients become our partners and we start to work with all the spheres of influence they are connected with. In segment 5, panel 12 on the fourfold, the DNA for life. This is natural laws. Natural laws govern all that we do. In many ways, it's the hardest of the 3 DNAs to teach, to learn. There are over 500 natural laws which govern our business, our income, and really every area of life. One of those natural laws is the cluster principle. The cluster principle states that it's not unusual that someone making a buying or selling decision will know between 3 and 9 other people over the next 6 to 12 months who are making a similar buying decision as our prospect or client. Imagine what would happen with our business if we had every prospect referring us 2 or 3 or even more additional prospects. Yes, our businesses would double each and every year, and that's just one of the over 500 natural laws applied through our BOS, our engine. Again, BOS consists of DNA for people, DNA for business, and DNA for life. And it's the engine that runs our business, organization, and depending on how good it is, all the money we're going to earn, the time we're going to have, the stress and the life balance you're going to have or don't have. Segment 6 is Q&A, and that can be done either at your local level or it can be done through the video stream. That's up to your local MC or host because we're going to hit you with a lot of information today, and I hope you're ready, but this will give you a little opportunity to do decompressing. In segment 7, great things are going to happen next month, and we'll all come back together again as we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. So absolutely everything we do today will be focused on the topic for the month, which will be shared with you in just a minute. Are we clear? Do we understand what we will be accomplishing today, or at least a big picture perspective?
Really plugged in because today is going to change your life forever. Hi, my name is Kevin King, and welcome to Mastermind Seminars Live. We do this every single month, every third Thursday, and this is year 4, which is amazing because so much has happened in 4 years. Today, you're going to receive the benefit of what's happened in the last 4 years. If this is your first time, we're excited to have you here. If this is your 10th, 20th, 30th time, we're excited to have you here. If you've been here since the beginning, hang on to your shorts because we're going to go on a journey today that's going to absolutely rock your world and your business. So every single year we have 12 segments, and the 12 segments are going to be the same every single year, so just get used to it. It's going to be the value of installing systems, which is going to be the very first thing we talk about. And the second thing we're going to be looking at in how our business is run is generating more and better leads. Because once we understand the value of installing a system, we have to generate more and better leads in order to make it work at a higher level. Then at that point, we have to convert more prospects to clients. Once that happens, we realize we don't need a bigger database at that point. We just need to get better at closing. So if the average salesperson closes 1 out of 10 or 10%, it's not like getting another 10 leads. It's another, maybe you get better and you close 2 out of 10. That's going to be a totally different. And converting prospects faster by understanding the DNA of people, the DNA of business, the DNA of life. We're going to cover all that today. And then we're going to talk about, after that, is generating a large quantity of referrals, which is what we talked about last month. This month, we're talking about creating client-for-life relationships. Why is that important? Well, maybe a better question is, what's in it for me? What's in it for you? So someone once said, to achieve one's life vision, to see deep success in every area of one's life, we need to learn the deep science of selfless selfishness. I don't know if you ever thought of yourself as being selfish. Do you believe you're selfish? I believe I'm selfish. but I also believe I'm selfish for other people. And in that way, we're both selfless and selfish. And that's the key to making this all work. So today, just so you get a quick overview, we have 7 segments within the topic of creating a client for life relationship. The first one is going to be networking before the event, which is what we're going to be doing right now with Mark Boersma and Ed Kirch, which I'm excited to have these guys on board. Then we're going to go into wins and biggest challenges. Nicole's going to rock us with that. And then segment 3, 4, and 5 is what we call the BOS system, which is the business operating system. And that's the DNA of people, DNA of business, DNA for life. And we call it personality masteries, the 530 grid, and the natural laws. And we have tremendous speakers that are going to be helping you understand how that's going to change your world in creating client for life relationships for you. Because don't you want to make a lot more money after seeing this event? I would, and I do. The next segment is going to be Q&A, and the last segment is going to be great things for next month. So let's jump into the first segment. I'm so excited to have Mark Boersma on with us. He is the president of Synergy Solutions, which absolutely changes people's business, helping them to understand it at a much deeper level. And so Mark, who's also an international speaker and an author, I couldn't be more happy to have him on the call today. Mark, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kevin. Thanks so much. It's amazing to me. You know, we just got back from just a great time in Florida. Then we went to Louisiana, and Louisiana did the value of installing systems. And,
wow.
you know, I've been part of this since the very beginning, like you have, Kevin.
Uh-huh.
And that event was the best one of every event we've ever been to. And Alan, he flew out from Maryland, and it's interesting to me when he was asked by Fitz, who sponsored it. Fitz owns a printing company out in Louisiana, Houma, Louisiana, and Fitz says, you know, Alan, why did you come out? And Alan said, it's simple. Mark asked me to. Like, he didn't ask what's the benefit, you know. So Alan didn't say, okay, Mark, you think I'm going to do something, you know, you think I should do it. What's the benefit to me? What's it going to be like? How many people are going to show up? What's the people going to be like? I mean, Alan just said, yeah, sure, I'll just come out and I'll be a speaker. And Alan said it's the best event. So he's out in Maryland. The first 3 years we did the live events in the Chicago every month. Right. And now Tanglewood Conservatories out in Maryland are doing one event a quarter. And it's just, they're inviting, you know, their partners from all over, you know, the country, all over the world to participate in that. So, you know, that's once a quarter. So I'd encourage you, if you're listening, especially if you're an architect, anybody, but especially if you're an architect, go out, fly out, take the time, invest a little money. It will absolutely change your life. And so in networking and speed networking, like what I have found, Kevin, is that people go into connecting and networking and they don't really expect to make money. They expect to make connections. And there's a big difference in that expectation. It was interesting. When we were in Florida, I was calling some of the 12 people, like Fitz went ahead and said, here are 12 people in my community who think outside the box. One of those was Martin, who owns a local TV station. So I called him and said, hey, I'd like to, you know, find out coming into the event to speak to your community. And I'd like to find out some of the needs of the community. What are the biggest challenges? What would the community love help with? What are business and community, you know, relationships? And Fitz said that you know, really involved in community, had a good pulse for the community, wanted to just have a short phone conversation. So he called me back. We had a short phone conversation, and he's like, Mark, some of the things that you shared, it's amazing. Any way that I can go ahead and interview you tomorrow for a segment on Monday. And so I got on TV, local TV in Louisiana.
Wow.
As a result of just a short, you know, conversation. You know, had another meeting and another one. I mean, so those
Yeah.
opportunities, Kevin, are going to open up massive business opportunities because I'm intentional in bringing value to the community, and I'm intentional in turning that connection, that network connection, into revenue for me, not only me, but for everybody around me as well.
That's huge. I mean, that's just not being done.
Right. And so, like on Saturdays, Mastermind call, when we did a debrief, and people were curious and asking Alan, why was it so good? Like, what did you gain from it? Like, they were so curious. And
Yeah.
doing this for almost, 30 years, I've never heard a response like I did from Alan, and it changed my life forever. It was like I moved to another dimension in networking and connecting.
What did he say that changed your life?
He said, he was responding to the individuals that shared, and he said, what you're asking for is like, rather than going to a restaurant and eating, you're asking somebody, okay, you went to the restaurant and you smelled the coffee and you tasted the steak and all the vegetables, and you're not participating. You're just trying to somehow virtually trying to gain the experience without having to invest any of the time or resources or make the sacrifice of doing it. And I'm like, so we've all experienced where, our customers say, well, I need a reference. I need a reference. What's my experience going to be like? And we tell them and we talk to them. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go through with it. So certain people play on the field, but most people participate in the stands. The people who are playing on the field, they make often millions of dollars. The ones who are in the stands pay. And they get excited, but they didn't really put anything into it other than money. Quite a bit of money. And so what's interesting is on the Coffee Connection on Tuesday, we were sharing this story, and Matt went ahead and said to me, he said, well, Mark, isn't that a fair question? Like, what's the coffee taste like? What's it smell like? What's the taste? And before I could respond to Matt, Ed responded. And Ed, I'm just curious. I don't know if I've ever seen, that's not an easy concept to process. You weren't actually even on Saturday's call. Can you explain what your response was when Matt said, well, Mark, isn't that, because I guess Matt got the impression that I was disparaging people that were participating. We're not participating, but we're asking about the experience. And somehow Matt got the impression from me that I didn't think it was good for them to do. And so he's like, but isn't that a fair question? And Ed, what was your response?
It's like if you ask, I forgot exactly, but it's like if you ask somebody what something tastes like, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? I forgot exactly what I said, but it's like, you ask me, it's like, here's a good example. I am colorblind. The most common question people ask me, what is it like to see when you're colorblind? Okay? When you think about that, that's like a really silly question. You know what I'm saying? Because how would I know what it looks like not to be colorblind? Because I'm colorblind. how is it to know the taste of coffee if you don't taste it? You know what I mean?
See, it's almost like I've wondered why people are so connected into celebrities. Like, why do they want to see what people are seeing? Why do they? And what they're doing is they're living vicariously through other people rather than living life themselves. So rather than going to Louisiana, I'm just going to go ahead and have Mark and Alan go, and then I'm going to live vicariously through them. Rather than just jumping in and say, okay, I'm in Boston, well, who's going to show up and how many are going to be there and what's the benefit to me? Like Alan's life was changed forever by trusting the integrity of the system, by trusting me, by trusting Alan. So when somebody's asking questions, not only do they not trust the individual, not only do they not trust the system, but they don't trust themselves. So all of you should go to Boston. Will you? Probably not. Why not? Because you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself. And so Alan has learned how to trust himself in a way that honestly I've never experienced outside of maybe Tom Coons and maybe myself. I mean, it's almost like supernatural. It's almost like a supernatural law. In segment 5, we'll talk about, natural laws, over 500 of them, and the power of them. In the pre-event, like for an event, I always, recommend that you always show up early and always stay late, because often you'll gain more from what happens before the event and what happens after. But most people come to the event and they don't come early and they don't stay late, and they're missing the world. So there's an inner core of individuals that participate. So while you're watching the 8-minute, if you're watching the live 8-minute introduction, there's a core group of people that are meeting a half an hour before the event to coordinate all of, everything that we've prepared for you, that's been prepared for you today. And if you want to be part of the core event, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. Or if you're calling in outside the U.S., you can call the U.S.-based number 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909. In the pre-event, Barb, she's just started her own executive virtual assistant company, and her business is growing gangbusters because of Mastermind seminars and all the things that are taught. It's like, I've never seen anything like it. Her business is filling up like crazy. It's unbelievable. And the things on how Mastermind seminars is changing Barb and her business. So if you're a business owner and you have more ideas than you can implement, and if you have more opportunities than you can pursue, then I would encourage you to contract with Executive Virtual Assistants, EVAs, through Life Masteries Institute and Legacy Partners. They're amazing. And Barb is one of those. And Barb came up with, the most interesting question. Barb, what was your question that you had?
My question was, because you do events all over the country, what's the best way to get one to come to my area?
Great question. So the hardest part, bar none, in getting mastermind seminars, and so it's really cool. Like, all the work's been done. Like, you don't have to go ahead you don't have to go ahead and invest 4 years like Kevin has and I have and Ed Kirch has and others have. So we've invested tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars of time and money into all of this, and you can gain the benefit. And you could bring these events to your area, the 12 topics that Kevin had shared. But the hardest part, bar none, is putting butts in the seats. How do you get people to actually show up? And the first 3 years in Chicago, when we did the live event, we actually didn't figure out that secret. The first 5 months, we didn't figure out that secret. It wasn't until we went to Louisiana that we discovered the secret. And Barb, it's a great question. Here's the secret. Step 1. Identified the names of 12 people in your local community that think outside the box. So what are the 12 people in your local community that think outside the box? So it works with any industry. It doesn't matter what industry, any community-based organization is. It'll help you in business double your revenue and work less hours. It'll do that. If you're a community-based organization, it will help you increase your donation and your volunteers and have a lot less stress. I mean, it's amazing. And so if you're an architect or really any business owner, fly out to Boston. Or, like in Maryland, they're doing one every quarter. Like, how cool is that? And not only, and in Maryland, the thing that's really cool about Maryland is you get to see these beautiful old world conservatories and how they're put together. I mean, make it a family. I mean, I took my wife and a couple of my kids and actually my brand new at the time daughter-in-law out there. Like, they had only been married a few weeks. And I took them out there, and that was a trip that we'll remember forever. I mean, it's just amazing. So go out there and visit one of these events. If you want to do something locally, attend the Maryland quarterly event. It'll blow your mind. I mean, totally. So do that. In the meantime, while you're doing that, identify 12 people in your local area that think outside the box, that think differently.
Okay.
And then ask them this one question. Ask them, if somebody could help you in any area of your business or life, what would you love help on? When you get 12 people to share that, because they're going to love help on something probably very different than the average person. The average person may respond one way or another, but most average people will probably respond the same way. But outside the box thinkers, they'll respond differently. And once you do that, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session or call those numbers that I had shared, and magic will occur. It'll absolutely blow your mind. Kevin, does that help? Is that what you were looking for today?
That's amazing. I hope everybody heard that and listened to it. Those are two very different things, and hearing and listening. If you, for some reason, need to go through it again, because that's the second time that I've heard it, because Mark and I had the conversation before, while you were watching the video, we were having that conversation. It's the second time I've heard it, and I'm even more excited than the first time. So if you'd like to go and rehear that, relook at that, then we have this being recorded right now, and that segment will be up on the website for mastermind-seminars.org. Mark, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Barb. We really appreciate your work and your participation. And now we're going to go on to our next segment. Our segment 2 is wins and biggest challenges, and I'm so excited to have Nicole come on from Tanglewood Conservatories, and we're bringing her feed live from Maryland. So Nicole, tell me about the wins and biggest challenges that you're facing.
Well, first, thank you, Kevin. It's good to be here, my first time, so it's exciting. But really this whole past month, my win has really been seeing the value of systems, understanding their benefit, and examining the efforts and the results that come from them. So in that is a really, really cool experience, and I'm really excited to be a part of being able to witness some of this and be a part of it. Now, on the flip side, that challenge is seeing the big picture. You can examine the efforts and you can see what results happen because of those efforts, but how do you take that and then see, is there a way that I could predict it? Like, big picture like the driver does. They can see the future and they can see your actions now and how they'll be affected later. So that's my challenge that I would love to overcome so I can start, implementing my wins.
Great. That's great. I appreciate that. Was there anything else you'd like to share, Nicole?
I do. I have Jennifer at Tanglewood. Unfortunately, she could not be with us today, but she did write in, and I'd like to read what she has. So.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. She said over to me. She said, Jennifer, she was asked, to host Tanglewood at an event for an AIA event for one of our architects that came to our Mastermind event on Thursday. So we, were able to succeed in our event, and she got really, good feedback and things like that. Now she's offered to go speak at the AI event with a local architect here, Charles Paul Goebel, and she really wants to be able to utilize that and be able to go further in the event. So in that win becoming, how does she sort of overcome and implement that win? Her challenge is seeing that execution sort of the same lines as my big picture.
Kevin,
wow,
I think the Saturday, 7:30 Central Time, 8:30, Eastern Time, that, every Saturday we meet for 30 minutes to talk about how do you install systems to have amazing quarterly, monthly, or weekly events in your local area that just absolutely rock your business and your community. If Jennifer and Nicole were to participate in those on Saturday, and others that are interested have the same question, that would, I think, just be very exciting for people.
Okay.
Mark, do you have any other wins or biggest challenges you'd like to share?
I do. Does anyone else? Was Cheryl or anybody else going to share any before I dive in? Because, man, this last month has been just a mind-numbing. So many successes. It's almost, I don't want to take the whole time, Kevin, if other people have wins.
Okay. Does anyone else
jump
have
in.
Go ahead.
Hi, this is Cheryl. Like Nicole mentioned, we had a seminar this past Tuesday, and this is our second one, and it's part of a challenge too of having 2 in 1 week. But in this past seminar here at Tanglewood, we actually had 2 architects, and we had 3 other guests come, and that was really positive. Even the guests got involved in participating. So that was a real big success for Tanglewood. Also, the 2 architects that came gave some input, what they saw, and a lot of it came down to I was being too bossy, which is kind of a challenge because we didn't have a whole lot of participation from our team members. So I hate silence, so I kicked it in, and maybe it was too boisterous. So the challenge is how do we get like our team members to really see the value in this instead of it being a thing they have to attend, and how can we communicate that better? So that's one of the challenges we're facing at Tanglewood.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Cheryl. Is there anyone else that have any wins or biggest challenges they'd like to share?
Cheryl,
Mark?
did you see what happened? What happened there, Cheryl?
There was silence after my statement.
And who allowed the silence to occur?
Me.
Okay, you did, so that was way to go. But you asked the question, so you probably are not going to ask the question and give yourself an answer. So who else allowed silence to occur?
Everyone else.
You did.
Anyone else that knew the answer had input to Cheryl's question, but did not give the answer. I love Barb, like she has so much confidence in me because she said, well, you did, Mark. Well, if I knew the answer to the question, if I had some thoughts to that and I did not share and I just let that awkward silence play out, other people in the future, Cheryl, will remember that and they'll be like, Cheryl's not going to provide the answer. And if Cheryl doesn't provide the answer, either there's going to be an awkward silence or I need to come up and I need to learn how to think faster than what I am and respond faster and do more. So if you continue to fill the awkward silence, Cheryl, they will allow you to do that forever. If not, it's going to be painful, but people will eventually step up.
Okay, got it.
Cool.
Hey, do you have a couple wins or biggest challenges here in the next 3 minutes of the segment here, Mark, that you'd like to share?
So we're raising $1.5 million for rescuing girls out of child trafficking in Illinois. So there's a group that's come to us and said, hey, can we apply the BOSS system, the business operating system, everything that we're learning in Mastermind seminars? Can you apply that to raising money and awareness and for the cause? It's like, absolutely. We're also working with a group out of the Middle East to bring peace to the Middle East and raising funds for a statue of a dove in the middle of Jerusalem. We're also working to bring lacrosse over to Jerusalem for the World Games that'll be next year. In addition to that, there's a group in Africa of entrepreneurs or people who want to be entrepreneurs that we're helping them to put together a mastermind seminar quarterly and then monthly and weekly coffee connections. So there's a group of 12 individuals meeting weekly for coffee connections over in Africa. There's a large group from China that have realized that the colleges don't know how to produce entrepreneurs. So you can go to the best colleges in the world and you can get a doctorate in entrepreneurialism and be clueless on how to start your own company. You can teach about it, but successfully doing it is a whole nother thing. And so, Kevin, we're starting a mastermind group on Monday to build curriculum to help individuals from China, in Africa, in the Middle East. We'll be moving into throughout all of Asia, throughout Europe and South America, really going all throughout the country and teaching individuals how to take the mastermind seminars, build a BOSS system, a business operating system, the engine that runs our business. You know, we earn the money we earn, work the hours we work, have the stress we do or don't have because of that engine. And so we're going to be doing that on Mondays. So Kevin, so much more, but I know we're out of time in segment 2, moving into segment 3, but some amazing, exciting worldwide things, not just to help us as business owners make more money, but to go ahead, there's another group on addictions that we're working with. I mean, impacting the world in which we live while growing our businesses, doing that simultaneously. Very exciting.
That's huge, Mark. And people want to become involved in that. They want to get involved in Africa or China or anywhere in the world. What number should they call?
The same number we had referenced before. Call the person who invited you to participate, in this. Ask them if they're participating in any of those. Or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. Or if you're calling in outside the U.S., you can call the U.S.-based number at 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mark. We're moving into segment 3, as Mark said, and now we're into the BOS, which is the Business Operating System. And the first part of our engine that runs our business, our lives, the very fabric of who we are, is the DNA for People and Personality Masteries. So we're excited to have Cheryl from Tanglewood, who's part of the HR department, who runs the HR department, and she's going to be giving us an overview of the DNA for People and how it applies for creating client-for-life relationships. Go ahead, Cheryl. Cheryl, if you're talking, you're on mute.
I am on mute. Okay. Thank you for the introduction, Kevin. Sorry.
Go ahead, Cheryl. No worries. DNA for
right.
People.
Knowing people's personalities helps with all the relationships you have. In this presentation, I will be using the word customers, but it actually has many different meanings. It could be team member, could be boss, could be friend, could be husband, could be wife. Because you want to create a client for life with all those people, I would think. I am not going to be able to tell you today in 10 minutes how to make your customers clients for life. It is the culmination of having systems in place where you have learned to generate more and better leads. You have become able to convert the prospects faster. Once you have had the relationships, you've been able to ask for a large quantity of referrals. Now, the next step in the dance you have started is to raise the bar when it comes to customer service. Give them value. Through this dance, you will have learned that the personalities are very integral in building the relationships that create clients for life. Each different personality type has its way of communicating and want to be communicated with. It is important that you speak and, more importantly, listen in their personality language to be able to gain their trust, to make them understand to help them that you really understand them. The analytic likes to have this system in place because it gives them a roadmap to follow. They like to have their I's dotted and their T's crossed, which makes them a bit slower, but they get things done. If things aren't in order, their mind is blown. Give them a task and they will blow it out of the water. Ask them to deal with people and you will have a problem. The driver relies on the analytical to produce the system so that they can steam ahead at a fast pace because they can see the end much better than any other personality. Like the analytical, they are more comfortable with tasks versus dealing with people. You will need to watch out for this type of customer so that they don't run you over. They may not mean to, but they may. The expressive loves to have fun, and that can also be a problem because the fun will interfere with getting the tasks done. We tend to live in the present with gusto and want to bring other people with us to enjoy the ride even in bad situations. The amiable also relates easily to people like the expressive. Please do not create any conflict with them as they will not like you if you do. We are nurturers and tend to put others before us. Moving slowly is in our nature, and especially when it comes to tasks. I mentioned in the beginning about bringing the customer value. How do you do this? Let them know that you are there for them beyond selling them something. Find out their life vision and what their greatest challenge is. listen carefully to Rosanna in the next segment on systems to use to track your customers' visions and challenges. Give them value by linking them with others with the same vision and challenge, like the cluster principle says. Learn a personalities, become a chameleon at moving between all the personalities to be able to mimic your customer to create that client for life relationship. Step into your analytical personality to help those that aren't analytical get a system in place. Give them a list to follow of steps to take. But make it fun for the expressive, big picture for the driver, and relational to the amiable. Help a fellow analytical make a decision. My husband has a life vision, but his analytical gets in the way of accomplishing the step towards it. I step in to push the decision to help him move to the next step. For example, he wants to be able to grow crops to be able to help the less fortunate. In order to do this, he needed a tractor. He was researching the ideal tractor, which led him to nothing for the past 2 years, the principle ideal or nothing. This year, I pushed him to purchase a tractor, and now he is one step closer to his life vision. Use your driver personality to help those that aren't a driver see the bigger picture of their life vision. Help the driver you are talking to see an even bigger picture, if possible. Help the analytical get out of the weeds of details. I personally have a hard time with this with my expressive, amiable, analytical personality. I get into the details too much and miss the goal of seeing the big picture. It means something to me that I am helped in this weakness of mine. Learning how to be expressive can help the driver see people over primarily tasks. I'm pretty sure you need people to accomplish your life vision, so that a better way to help them relate with a little bit of fun associated with it will probably get your life vision accomplished faster. The same goes with how to help the analytic. Get their noses out of the books and get them out and have fun to relieve some pressure. I am that ever optimistic person and find the good in almost all bad situations and express it to help others see things differently, to help them turn their way of thinking into something different. If you step into an amiable personality with others, it will help you connect with all their other personalities by being able to relate to their families. With an amiable, relationships come naturally. Help the driver and analytic build the relationships that they will need to reach their life vision. Since you have learned the amiable hates conflict, you may be able to use other personalities to help them resolve the conflict in ways they had not thought of. What better way to relate with your customers on an ongoing basis than to bring them joy with their life vision and ease their pain by helping them solve their biggest challenge. Don't just make the sale, get the job completed, and forget about them. Keep touching them to keep that client for life relationship going. Does anyone have any questions?
Cheryl, I have a question. What's the single most important thing you can think of in how you create a client for life relationships when it comes to personalities?
The biggest thing I think is being able to relate to them in their primary personality. That way you can connect one-on-one with them and be able to just get the personal connection going because you understand them. If you understand them and how to talk to their personalities, then that's a bridge, that you've walked over, and it's hard to walk back from.
Right. And so if I don't know what my client's personality is yet, and I'm just discovering this for the first time, what's the best way to find out who I'm talking to and who their personality is?
Well, that's a good question, Kevin. There's a test you can do. You can find out there are 4 shapes. You can do, put them in order: a cube, a pyramid, a squiggly line, and a ball. If you ask them to put them in the order that they like the most, then that will tell you their personality. The cube being the analytic, the pyramid being the driver, the squiggly line being the expressive, and the ball being the amiable. You can also ask, there are 4 questions to ask to be able to find out, even more about the personality. For the analytic, it would be things not being done properly, things being out of control. For the driver, things being dull and boring would be the expressive, and things causing conflict for the amiable. If you ask them to put in order what causes them the most frustration, this will tell you their personality also.
Excellent. Thank you, Cheryl. We really appreciate your participation. Thank you for preparing a wonderful theme for us here for the DNA for people and how it relates to client-for-life relationships. We're going to move on to segment 4 right now. So we're in the middle of our BOS system, the Business Operating System. We just heard from Cheryl with the DNA for people, the personality masteries. Now we're going to hear from Rosanna Boersma and the 530 grid, which is the DNA for business. And I'm so excited to have Rosanna on. She has been fantastic in heading up the Awesome Women's Group, which meets every single week. So Roseanne, take it away and give us the 530 grid and how it relates to client-for-life relationships.
Thank you, Kevin. I noticed that Nicole had a question. I didn't know if she still wanted to do that or not.
Sure. Go ahead, Nicole. Jump in.
Oh, sorry. All I was going to say was ask Cheryl was, so how do you work with a client who's opposite of your personality? So like I'm a chameleon, but I'm a deep analytic. So if I were to go with someone expressive, how do you work with a client that way?
You would have to learn a different personality. So if they're expressive, you got to make them have fun, and you have to learn that personality. You got to learn how to have fun in order to have that relationship with them.
So then would it be safe to say in sales it's important to learn and live sort of all of the personalities, be able to understand how to balance the two and sort of go into a different personality when you need to, or at least tolerate it, per se?
Yes, I think it's important to know all the personalities, yes, to be able to move within all of them, to be able to speak to your customer, your clients, to be that chameleon.
Okay, got it.
Thanks, Nicole. That was great. Cheryl, thanks. I appreciate that.
To give you an example, I'm an expressive. If you come in and give me a sales pitch, the last thing in the world you want to do is go through an hour with the details. Because after 2 minutes, I'm going to be on the phone, I'm going to be doing emails, and you're going to figure out real quick you lost my attention. Does that make sense? You got to sell to the personality. Yeah. If I go into an engineer's office and I'm going to sell him something, I'm going to have my facts, my details, all the other stuff ready because I know that's what he's going to want.
Okay.
So you got to prepare your presentation to the personality.
I got it. It makes sense.
Thanks, Ed. That's a great point. That's exactly right. Appreciate you sharing that. Rosanna, we're back to you now. DNA for business and how it relates to the client-for-life relationship.
So when you have a client for life, you want to make sure that you are working very hard for that client. First of all, getting the client is a hard job as it is, and once you get that client, you have already gone through quite a few steps to get to that client. So you want to make sure that client is very, very happy. And one of those ways of doing that is making sure that you're servicing them like crazy, asking if they're getting what they want, if they need more, what their challenges are. Just because we've answered one of their biggest challenges, maybe by getting the coaching or whatever it is that we're giving them as making them the client, just because we've answered one of them doesn't mean that other challenges don't come up during the time that they are in a client of ours. We always want to make sure we're constantly checking with them to see where they are. So, and also making sure that they're always touched, sending a monthly newsletter or maybe calling them or a weekly email is always important to make sure that we're taking care of them on a day-to-day basis. When they give us a referral, as in the servicing area, and when they give us a referral, because we've asked for it, because that's what we're supposed to do, and to following up with that referral right away, making sure that the client knows that you followed up on it, make sure that they know that the responses that happen, helps the client to send more referrals. The more referrals you get, the more chances you're going to keep that client for quite a while, and maybe even for life is what we're working on. And so I think that it's very important that we make sure that we're always following up with them. And when we do follow up with them, track it and make notes, make sure that you're checking to make sure that they are happy, that they have the things that they need, and that they're always in a comfortable place with you as their person they're working with. Also, it's good to take care of those people they refer to you when you do the referrals. Make sure that you're following up with them, because they could also end up being your clients and then their clients for life, and then it goes all the way down the line. And we also want to make sure that we are doing the referrals and tracking them and going back through the whole thing, and where we started at the beginning, where we're identifying the targets. The targets are those referrals, and making sure that we develop the message to the person and giving them the direction that is needed. We always want to go back through our whole system of marketing and, pre-sales and the sales and the servicing, so we don't jump the gun and just think because we got a referral from a client that we shouldn't follow the system. So we always go back to the system and make sure that we're following it to the T, so we don't drop the client or drop the referrals that were given to us. So I think in creating a client for life, you want to make sure that you are servicing them and that you're servicing the people they refer to you. Basically, that is all I have today. Anyone has any questions?
I have one. So you talked about developing the messages and making sure they go. My understanding of DNA for Business and the 530 grid, that's box 2 under marketing, correct?
Yes.
So then in that, how do you develop that message to be able to satisfy all of the personalities and incorporate that into your marketing?
Well, I think it would, if I'm understanding right, it would be good to go ahead and have numerous messages able to send out. And once you have realized the type of client you're dealing with, make sure that you're directing that particular message to the client, as in referring back to what Cheryl said, is making sure that you're not giving too much detail to an expressive, and making sure that you're getting to the point with the driver. And so once you have an idea who the client referral is, making sure that you send that message to them in that way.
Great. Is there any other questions for Rosanna? Okay. Well, thank you, Rosanna. We really appreciate you doing the segment on the 530 grid. Now we're going to move into segment 4, and segment 4 completes our BOS segment for the business operating system. So we've done the DNA for people, we've done the DNA for business, and now we're going to do the DNA for life. And this is the natural laws. There's over 500 natural laws that have been discovered, and Nicole's going to get a chance to help us understand how the natural laws can apply in creating client-for-life relationships. Nicole, welcome, and take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. So we talk about clients for life, but what is a client for life? Are they a client that we have repeat business with? A client who continues to refer us business? Anything of that nature, but, maybe it could be a client who shares our passions and has similar life visions as ours. So in understanding the natural laws and the integration with DNA for people, DNA for business, it will help you create your clients. Oh, excuse me. It will help you to create clients for life, because you can understand your clients on a whole new level. You may even get to know them better than they know themselves. which, in turn they would definitely want to come back and learn even more. So, as Kevin mentioned, there are over 500 natural laws discovered to date, and each one can help you in any area of your life. You just have to study them and live them intentionally each day. So today, I'm only going to go over 3. So to get started, first natural law is no problems, only opportunities. So this natural law forces you to look internally at yourself, how you think, how you perceive things, and how you choose to react to others. So in starting with you, we need to look internally in order to solve challenges we're facing externally. So by changing your mindset to look at an issue as, instead of a problem or an issue, try saying, okay, this is a challenge, but, it's an opportunity for me to learn from our actions. It's an opportunity for me to increase my skill set. Or it's an opportunity to build a better system so when our team can service our clients better, and we can create a more amazing fan experience. So you turn that issue or challenge that you're facing into an opportunity to grow your business. By changing your mindset and way of thinking, you're looking at the bigger picture, not just living in the moment. You can see that this one issue or problem that came up is actually a solution to future issues that may arise. The second is crab in the bucket. So as Mark always tells me, we like people that are similar to us, but we tend to fall in love with those that are opposite of us. So why is that? People with similar personalities, interests, and lifestyles tend to be drawn to one another. They think alike, and they tend to like the same things, just like crabs in a bucket. They all look the same, they act the same, but when one tries to break free, he no longer is a part of the group. He changed his way of thinking. When one crab breaks free, it forces other crabs to make a decision. They can become curious and follow the other crab, or they can make that crab an outlier and choose not to follow him. So why is this so important? Think back to what I said. It forces the other crabs to make a decision. You have stopped their thought process to make them think, hey, maybe there's another way. What is he doing? Why is he doing that? You're starting to make them curious. So now, think of your clients as the crabs that climbed out of the bucket. The rest of the world is the crab in the bucket. So if you remember, Rosanna and the 530 grid, who are your targets? What message will you develop to bring them outside of the bucket? Maybe your message can be that your crabs climbed out of the bucket. So tell their story, lift them up, because as they are lifted up, so will you in your business. And lastly, the roller coaster principle. You ever feel like you're in a roller coaster? Ups, downs, some loopy-loops? Well, when you really think about it, businesses are just like a roller coaster. First, your team is working harder and harder to produce the result you need. You're increasing your efforts, you're increasing your time, you're increasing your frustration. What we often find is that there is a lag between effort and results. So as you see your results going up but no effort, when you finally hit your goal, what happens? Your efforts start to go down because you've started to look and say, okay, we finally hit it when we reached our goal. We're done. So you take a step back because you've exhausted all of your efforts in the beginning. But, in reality, consistent results are produced by consistent effort. Just because you reach your goal, just because you hit it, doesn't give you time to slow down your efforts. If you start keeping your results consistent, start keeping your efforts consistent, your results will be consistent as well, which means you can create even more happy clients and try to recreate those clients for life. Thank you. That's all I have.
Wow, Nicole. Does anyone have any questions for Nicole?
So the roller coaster mystery kind of relates to what I said about, you make the sale and you're coming down, you're building you've constructed your conservatory for Tanglewood, and you kind of drop off. But what you're saying is that the Tanglewood sales team needs to keep an even touch on the customer, right?
I would even pull it a little bigger. So say, the sales team has a goal. They have a goal to sell X amount of dollars. So when you go and you work hard, you push, you keep all your efforts and you're going, they're putting so much time and effort into it that when they hit their goal, they're like, yes, we hit it. Let's pull back. I'm exhausted. Let me just take a break. Well, in reality, no, because when you start to do that, you get sort of lazy, for lack of a better term, and then you're going to have to go ahead and do this, and then when your results get lower, you're going to have to turn around and do the same thing. So if we just keep being consistent in what we're doing, maybe not exhaust ourselves and then relax, exhaust ourselves and relax. Keep a consistent pace and just consistently increase your efforts, consistently increase, and then your results should be able to follow. That helps?
Does that answer your question?
It does. Thanks, Nicole.
Yes.
Is there any other questions for Nicole? Okay. Well, then let's move on to the next segment. Thank you, Nicole. We appreciate you going over the natural laws. You know, if you want to know more about the natural laws, if you want to know more about anything really, but especially for the natural laws, I would encourage you to go to DNAforlife-laws.com. That's DNAFORLIFE-LAWS.com. And when you click on natural laws, you're going to see a ton of videos that you can do. Not only the power of natural laws, 5 T's to stewardship, 4 types of personalities, the 3-for-1 principle, 5 time management freedom finders, disciplined person, disciplined thinker, and discipline in taking action, delayed gratification. Those are just 7 of the 7 minutes to success in Module 1 of the DNA for Life-laws.com. I really encourage you to go there. And as you start looking at it, start taking notes and then applying those things immediately to your business, and you'll start seeing results. So thanks again for what you did, Nicole. Really appreciate that. Now we're going to move on to our Q&A. We're going to move on to Q&A. And I don't know if you felt like you've taken a drink out of a fire hydrant. You actually have, because there's just been a lot of information that we've thrown at you. And even if you've been here for a while or just your first time, you're going to have to process this. You're going to have to digest what's going on. So if there are any question on any of the segments, speed networking, the wins and biggest challenges, DNA for people, DNA for business, DNA for life, any questions regarding that you'd like, this is the time to bring it up.
I'm not sure where this would lie and who would answer this, but how do I get deeper into my client's mind, and how do I create massive value for them?
That's great. One of the resources that you can actually use is to go to personalitymasteries.com, personalitymasteries.com, and that's going to take you on not only the shapes that Cheryl was sharing about, the cube, the pyramid, the wavy line, and the ball, and then the things that cause people most frustration, but there's also steps to get started in terms of examination and solution to that, and that's definitely going to help. That's going to be a great way to go. The other way is that there's also online courses that you can take in personality mastery and getting deeper into your client, and also go to the DNA for Life-laws, because they also have fantastic resources there that are actually designed to help you understand yourself and your client that much better. So DNA for Life-laws.com, there's just some tremendous videos there that will definitely help you with that. Does that help or not so much?
Thank you. No, that helps.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Of course, the other thing is that you can always ask the person that invited you, or call in, and we can also get you information there as well. Any other online questions?
Yeah, Kevin, I got a question. So
yeah, go ahead, Cheryl.
I know I did personalities, and I'm a lot amiable a lot of the times. What if I don't want to ask the question about the shapes? Is there another way to tell what the person's personality is?
Yeah, I think so. I think one of the things is, one of the things that's helped me, and maybe Mark can answer this, or Ed, or whoever wants to jump in. One of the things that has helped me, though, is when I ask a question, I go in as I go in real, not neutral, but I go in try and be brief, be bright, and be gone with my questions. I don't want to get into a long explanation. So, like, if I was able to help you with something, what would that be? If you could get help with anything in your life, what would that be? Based on how they answer the question, it could be like, man, if I had help with that, I don't know, man, that would be really cool. I'd really love to, man, it would be, I really need help in getting things organized and blah, blah, blah. Or somebody could say, yeah, I just want to hit my goals sooner. You know that the two responses are going to be different. The first person is going to be more amiable because they might jump in right away and they might just start, yeah, that sounds exciting, that's fun. Or the person who's the driver is going to be like, I got to hit my goals sooner. Or somebody's maybe analytic. Maybe they're like, well, give me more information. What exactly were you thinking you could help me with? In what area specifically were you talking about? Or, I don't know. Depending upon how they answer, understand the personalities, and then listen to how they respond. Mark, Ed, anyone else? Do you have any other thoughts about that?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. I mean, the horizontal axis is measuring assertiveness. And so you can actually tell how what somebody's personality is based on, how assertive they are. And so the people who are more assertive, they're going to be over on the right-hand side. The people on the left-hand side are going to be less assertive. So the right assertive people are going to be the driver and the expressive personalities, sort of 3 and 4 frequency. The left are going to be amiable and analytic personality, 1 and 2 frequency. If you're not sure if somebody's more assertive or less assertive, they're going to be probably less assertive, because more assertive people, you tend to be more, they're more assertive. The second question you're asking is the person focused more on the task or the people? So if they're more task, and you can tell based on their tone. So a level 1 frequency, the amiable or expressive personality, will be fun and friendly, like people. 2 and 4 will tend to be more methodical, and so it's more mechanical. So you're not going to enjoy their hello as much as you would the 1 and the 3. So more task is going to be analytic or driver. More people is going to be amiable or expressive. So if somebody is less assertive and focused on the people, they're going to be an amiable. If they're less assertive and focused on the task, they're going to be an analytic. If they're more assertive and focused on the people, they're going to be expressive. If they're more assertive and focused on the task, they're going to be the driver. The downside of not asking, which most business people won't, because they're afraid. The downside of, you can identify somebody's personality without asking them the question, but the real magic comes in them knowing that you know their personality. And so you can do it without doing the question, but you miss a chance of a lifetime. When you ask somebody the geo test, which of these 4 shapes would you tend to like the most? Cube, pyramid, wavy line, or ball? First, second, third, and fourth. Which of these 4 things would tend to cause you the most frustration? Not being done properly in order, out of control, boring or not fun, or conflict with others. When you ask them it in that order, those 2 things, it creates a tremendous amount of curiosity, Cheryl and Kevin, like massive. So people are like, what does that mean? So it gives you the opportunity to say, well, you chose the pyramid and you chose the ball, so one of your greatest strengths is your drive, your assertiveness, you make things happen. One of your weaknesses is your drive, your assertiveness, you make things happen. They're like, whoa, that's amazing. Maybe one of your greatest strengths is your concern, compassion for people. Maybe one of your weaknesses is your concern, compassion for people. They're like, oh my gracious, how do you know that? Maybe you might have some inner conflict. And so you might have inner conflict, like you want to help people. You see their potential, but then they don't move, and so you might have a tendency maybe to run people over at times, apologize for running them over, and then run them over again. You have this inner conflict that's going on. And somebody in less than a minute will say to you, that is amazing. You know me better than my mom. And you develop so much trust so fast when you ask them the question. So you can, Cheryl, know without asking the question. But if you do, you miss the chance of a lifetime.
Got it. Thanks, Mark. That really helped.
Cool.
Outstanding. Anyone else have questions about any of the segments? Last shot. You can still text it to 630-386-5306. That's 630-386-5306. If you have another question, you can send it there, and we can either respond to you. Hopefully, we can do that online right now if you send it, or we can respond later. I'd rather do it now online because then everybody has the privilege of getting and the benefit of getting the answer.
So the question out there is, these mastermind seminars that are popping up all over the country now, do you think that maybe the creating client for life helps to establish a more solid client within the area if you do a seminar in their area?
Mark?
Yeah, great question. I believe it does tremendously. Why? Well, if you're doing B2B relationships, if you're selling B2B, if you're developing professional partnerships, so when you look at the 530 grid, so there's the 5 areas to business. So you have marketing, how do you generate more and better leads? Let's clean this up here. So you have, how do you generate more and better leads? That's marketing. And then you have area 2 is going to be pre-sales. Once you get a lead, what do you do with it? Area 3 is the sale. That's the yes or no. Area 4 is servicing. How do you create a raving fan servicing experience? And then area 5 is client for life. So if you're, a $10 million business and you want to take it to 20 million, you could have 4 out of the 5 pipes at 20 million, but if one of the pipes is at 5 million, you're only going to do, 5 million. So if you're selling to businesses are going to eat this up. Because they need this, and they're not going to get it through any other seminar, workshop. They can't go to college for this stuff. They can't read a book for it. Matter of fact, they can't even bring in, probably, unless they're certified through Legacy Partners to do it. If they're not certified through Legacy Partners, you can't even bring in a consultant that will teach you how to do it. Consultants will teach you 1 or 2 or 3 areas wherever their expertise is, and they'll say that's the most important thing, but maybe it is or maybe it's not the most important thing. Once you get the five areas, you get systems in place for that. Then the next is leadership, and then the next is profitable partnerships. So the average person on the street knows 250 people. The average business owner, based on research, knows over 5,500 people. So when you look at, let's say, Tanglewood, for example, so they're developing systems to develop partnerships with mutually beneficial partnerships with architects. So they have, I believe, over 2,000 architects in their database. Take 2,000, multiply it times 5,500, and so Tanglewood, through those 2,000 connections, has access to 11 million people. Think about that, 11 million people. Now those architects, they're going to have challenges in marketing, pre-sale, sales, servicing, client for life. They're going to have challenges in that. When Tanglewood brings them something of massive value like Mastermind seminars, that has tremendous benefit, and they can bring and blend their boss systems, their business operating systems together. So now what we have is we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. When the tide rises, all the ships rise together. So if somebody's an architect and they're not partnering up with Tanglewood, that's just not a smart thing. I mean, they can tap into the decades of experience, the branding, all the systems, the tools. Why would Tanglewood be willing to help, architects or CPAs or really any other business succeed? Tanglewood knows that as they help others succeed, others are going to help them succeed. And so when we look at this, Rosanna, and being able to bring tremendous added value in the client for life, in the servicing area, this is, what clients are paying for is area 4. Area 5 is beyond what they're paying for. And so are you interested in helping that business succeed beyond your own products and services? When you're dealing with human beings, B2B or B2C, business to business or business to consumer, are you interested in, like our clients are deeply interested in my 7 children and my 5 grandchildren. Why? Because I'm interested in their marriages, because I'm interested in their kids and their grandkids and their employees and their relationships and their schooling. I mean, I want to help every one of our clients discover their life vision and then live it every single day. And that's more important to me than them even being a client of ours. Now, obviously, if they're a client, we're in a better position to help them. But even if they're not a client, I'm still going to try to seek to help them every way I possibly can. So when you integrate all 12 of these topics, it's life-changing for people. And so when you look at topic 12, achieving life vision, why is it the 12th topic rather than the first topic? Here's the reason. Most business owners are so overwhelmed and consumed by owning a job, not owning a company, they can't even fathom. So I have an extra 20 hours of free time a week, and I take off 1 week a month. So I have 3 months off a year. So I'm 53. I've owned my own company for 26 years. It took me 18 years to figure out how to have an extra 20 hours of free time a week. Now somebody, if they're installing this properly, they can do that in probably 2 to 5 years. It took me 24, 25 years to figure out how to go ahead and take 1 week off a month. If individuals learn Mastermind seminars, they'll be able to do that in 3 to 5 years. So they're not reinventing the wheel. They don't have to draw the map. They don't have, if they have a custom boss business operating system, a plan, and then they have people assisting them all along the way, and then they might contract with executive virtual assistants to heighten that, to further that. That's what's going to happen. Does that make sense, Rosanna?
Yes.
Cool. Does that help, Kevin?
Outstanding. That's perfect. Thank you so much, Mark. If anyone has any further questions, please, you can text us at 630-386-5306. And I'm going to move into the last segment now. And the last segment is really maybe the most important. And it's not because I'm doing it, but it's because you need to hear what's about to be said. It's not just enough to have information be given to you today. It's important to come back next time and invite somebody and bring them online with you. So the next month that we're going to be doing this, okay, we're moving on from Client for Life relationships. I want you to go to mastermind-seminars.org. mastermind-seminars.org, and that's the website you came on so you can view this live. There's a yellow banner at the top of that website, and it's about. Click on that about, and it's going to bring you to a next page. The next page you're going to see is 12-month outline, pay it forward, testimonies, and live events. So you can see what's happening. This is going to be your game board. This is going to be your information highway to help you. If you click on the 12-month outline, the next one we're going into is leadership. Create massive profits. Like Mark said, in the 530 grid, you move from marketing, pre-sales, sales, servicing, and client for life, and after that you're getting out. The next step is really going to leadership, and that's what we're talking about. And we have 3 years already videotaped. I'm going to recommend going to year 3, which was last year. If you click on the video, which is on topic 7, leadership, create massive profits, and you click on that, it's going to give you an overview of last year like you won't believe. I would recommend going through that, looking at the trailer, looking at the segment, maybe speed networking, wins and biggest challenges, DNA for people, DNA for business, DNA for life, leadership training. There's a bonus leadership training. Why not take it now? Don't wait for 3 weeks from now or 4 weeks from now. Get there and do that now. And look at the testimonies, and it's going to help you so much. There's also other links in order to how to be a better leader. The Magic Seed System, Sticky Messages, Personality Masteries, the MVP Network, Mastermind Partnerships, Mastermind Groups. We want you to know that we want you to be with us for the rest of your life. This is going to change your life. It's going to change countless lives of other people around you. And the massive profits are actually going to be from what Mark had already said. The fact is that if you help other people become successful and you create massive profits and massive value in their life, they will help you. You've got somebody who perhaps has never done that. I need you. You need you. We all need you to be here next month, but also bring somebody with you and go through this material. It's going to change your life. So again, every third Thursday, we start at 10:30 Central Standard Time, and we will be at this same channel, the same network, and we are excited to have you here. And again, we're excited to have you here, and together, truly, all of us can achieve more together than we ever could on our own. So thanks, God bless, and have an amazing day.
Welcome, everyone, to Mastermind Seminars Live.
Wow.
We would like to welcome
So what did you
those
think?
who are in our location.
Did you feel
here
like you're
today,
drinking out of a fire
as well
hose?
as all those
A
who
lot
are
of information
participating
in a
via
very
video
short period of
streaming
time.
at our satellite locations all around the world. First time because each month you'll come back, you'll pick up more and more each and every month. The more we pick up and apply, the more money we'll earn as a result of attending this event, and the more time we'll have, the less stress we'll have, and the greater life balance we'll have in every area of life we value. Often people ask, what's next? Great question. Did you register yet that you attended? If not, do that immediately at www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. And we will assist you in having strong follow-through with what you learn. There are some amazing follow-up resources that we will get over. There is no charge for any of these resources. Okay, so you've registered. Now what? If you haven't already done your complimentary 30-minute gift coaching session, then that is the place to start. Go to www.dnaforsuccess.com. Go to the top drop-down, examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. Click on that. It will literally take you 3 minutes to complete that, and then someone from Legacy Partners and Mastermind Seminars will call you and give you your 30-minute strategy session. Again, there's no cost. It's a gift from every one of us to you. Go into that 30-minute strategy session expecting that your business and life will be changed forever, because it has so for so many people. Again, go to www.dnaforsuccess.com, go to the top drop-down examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. Once you complete that, there are so many different possible solutions to assist you in overcoming the biggest challenge you're currently facing and how to help you develop your very own BOS, the engine which runs your business. There are weekly live mastermind calls, coffee connections you can attend at no cost. There are online courses, group coaching, media solutions, and even one-on-one coaching which can be provided to you depending on your specific needs and overall goals. Please do not leave today without committing to meeting with at least 2 other people, either over coffee or over the phone, at a minimum once a week, to follow through on all the amazing information, ideas, tools, systems, and great people, both locally and then around the world, through Mastermind seminars and legacy partners. One side note, because there is no charge to attend, participate, and gain massive benefit from Mastermind seminars, individuals often wonder, how do these amazing events are funded? Well, they are actually funded by generous individuals just like you who give financially weekly through Coffee Connection contributions or monthly through Mastermind seminars. Your generous contribution to Life Masteries Institute, which is an IRS-approved 501c3 nonprofit organization, not only enables the events, tools, and networks to be developed and given to you and others, but also a portion of your gift goes to many great causes. When we give generously in a financial way, we gain financially as well. No gift is too small. Even giving $5 a week or even a month will make a big difference. To give, go to www.mastermind-seminars.org/pay-it-forward. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/pay-it-forward. Here is what others have found. In just getting started with my company, I didn't feel I could give anything. Even $5 a month was a sacrifice. I decided to do that, and as soon as I started to give financially, I became more focused on turning what I was learning into financial gain for me personally, and it worked. I'm now contributing a little more and will continue to increase my giving as my business and income grows. Adam, a new entrepreneur. We have given over $45,000 because we know it's the right thing to do. Yes, we do give of our personal and company resources, time and talents, but we also know how important it is to give financially as well. We have found that when we give financially, we become more focused on turning our involvement into sales and financial success. It seems that those who do not give financially, they often do not gain financial benefit. The entire Mastermind seminar experience has done more for building a successful culture through our entire company than hundreds of thousands of dollars in consultants, seminars, and workshops. We've accomplished more in a couple of years than the 20-plus years prior. Any individual, any company, any organization which does buy in and get their entire company involved is, how do I best say it, missing out on a chance of a lifetime. Alan Stein and Nancy Virts, owners, www.tanglewoodconservatories.com. I give financially weekly, and my business has more than doubled. Ginger Ann Collins, owner EVA, executive virtual assistant, and executive coach. www.dnaforsuccess.com/implementation/E-VAS. The more I give financially, the more I receive financially. Ann Wayman, dream giver, ghostwriter, www.annwayman.com. I was looking for additional income streams, and by giving financially, it's opened so many doors for me. So many opportunities become available when we are financially generous. Ed Noel, mortgage professional, owner, leadership, and team building coach. It was really tough for us to give anything, as we had invested so much into our business. But we decided to start out with $25 a month. We didn't think of it as a very big gift, but the truth is, it was a lot for us when we started. And the doors that financial gift has opened for us are huge. We will be giving a portion of what we generate in our business back to Life Masteries Institute and pay it forward to help others around the world gain financial freedom. Steve and Avalinda Casey, owner, real estate investing, speaker, and author. Being a part of Mastermind seminars over the last 3 years has changed the way I think about every area of life. When we give financially, we not only support what is given to us, but we assist others in our community and around the world. Be generous. Kevin King, helping people save money on health insurance. My business has benefited so much from the Mastermind seminars and coffee connections. It's the right thing to give back weekly financially. Jonathan Sparrow, owner, Web Technology, www.themvpnetwork.org. If you have any questions, thoughts, or ideas from today, please connect with the individual who invited you to attend or your MC, host, or you can even call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300, or the U.S. base number is 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909. Always remember, we can accomplish far more together than we ever could on our own. So think of 3 other individuals you believe would benefit from what we shared and invite them to your Mastermind conference call, coffee connection, and next month's Mastermind seminar event. Have an amazing day and life.